All right, welcome. Welcome to everybody to the Interdisciplinary Life Science Building opening celebration. Thank you for joining us. It wasn't in the script, so I didn't know if you're supposed to clap. But my name is Bill LaCourse, and I am the Dean of UMBC's College of Natural and Mathematical Sciences. I am pleased to welcome you on behalf of UMBC and the community. And before I introduce today's speakers and we cut the ribbon, and if you notice it looks like a DNA helix, to officially opening the building, I wanted to share a little bit about the thinking that inspired this building. Charlotte Perkin Gilman, she's a prominent American humanist, writer, and lecturer for social reform, stated that while we flatter ourselves that things remain the same, they are changing under our very eyes from year to year, from day to day. That means, in other words, people resist change. They don't like it. But it happens whether we want it to happen or not. And when it comes to teaching and training our students, this building represents both the change that we already see at UMBC and the continued changes that we know need to happen. There was a time when building a larger lecture hall was all the rage. We focused on the economy of teaching, a sage on the stage, one instructor and more students. And economically it made sense. But what we know now is that as the lecture hall gets bigger, interaction decreases until a student becomes anonymous. Learning occurs through discussion, conversation, debate, not recall and memorization. We all enjoy being around the campfire or being at a dinner table. That's how knowledge was passed down for many years, and it's in us to learn in this way. So we needed to change from this economy of teaching to an economy of learning, or more important, an efficiency of learning. That is why there are no lecture halls to warehouse students in the ISLB, and there is a little isolation. Teaching laboratories, research facilities, and group study nooks in the ISLB are designed to foster human interaction and discussion through a pedagogy known as active learning, where students learn through teamwork and collaboration. There was a time when scientists worked in isolation, independently seeking answers to life's questions. Case in point, Frankenstein, right? Or popular culture in the 50s. They always showed these mad scientists working by themselves. Well, it really turns out that solve the big problems that plague our society and to shape the solutions to those problems requires a multitude of disciplines coming together in collaborations. Solutions are found through a convergence of talent, of effort, in all individuals from all walks of life. Already, there are research terms working in this building on complex issues such as age-related disease, environmental degradation, and health disparities. That's why there is no section of the building dedicated solely to chemistry or biology, engineering, or ecology. Research space is shared, core facilities are shared, and through this approach, all are empowered. In the ISLB, faculty from different colleges have offices next to each other, and glass walls allow students to observe research in action. Transparency. There is nothing to hide. Science and learning are for everyone. Our society needs it, right? Our students deserve it. The fundamental design of this building embodies even a grander vision. The entire building is centered on a sundial, and I ask you to look for it when you're in the building, that shines down on the atrium floor, reminding us that light is the fundamental source of life, making the building an active place to learn, discover, and connect. The art installation, In Flight, reminds us of constant movement in science and nature. The proximity of teaching spaces, research spaces encourages interaction. The green roof reminds us that we are not separate from the environment or our world. We are a part of it. As I visited the building since the semester began, and I've been in it quite a bit, it is a joy to witness how quickly our community members have made themselves at home in the ISLB. When I walk through, I see students sitting together, discussing science, maybe some other things that I don't want to know. And I hear from the students how wonderful it is to be in a place that has such color, such vibrancies, such light, to inspire them to be successful. It is actually a playground for learning. They come here. This is where they want to be. So there are many reasons that this building already feels like a part of the natural fabric of UMBC, And one reason is that from the time the ISLB was just a kernel of an idea, its creation has been an effort with roots across the campus, led by our provost, Dr. Rouse. Faculty and staff from all three colleges contributed to the development of this building in one way or another. It is impossible to thank them all by name, so I'm not even going to try. But I'd like to mention teams that work together to bring the ISLB to life. The design team, led by Ballinger Architects and Engineers, and a special thanks to Bill Gustafson, the CEO. The construction team from White & Turner Contracting Company, thanks to Tim Regan. Our partners at the UMB Service Center, steering committee members and administrative assistants, facilities management staff, plan and advisory committees. I'm doing this rapidly because there's a lot of them. Capital equipment selection team, infrastructure technical advisory committee, research, teaching, and vivarium technical advisory committees, the public art selection committee and Maryland State Arts Council, Dean Bowman, Dean Casper, V. Steiner, and faculty and staff representing all three colleges. This was a group effort. This was a campus effort. This building belongs to everybody on this campus. It is a shared building and shared effort took place to build it. And of course, the building would not have been possible without the support of the Maryland government. We are thankful to have so many members of our state and local government here with us today. In addition to our platform and other speakers, we have Delegate Benjamin Brooks, Delegate Mark Chang, Delegate Eric Ebersol, Delegate Jessica Feldmark, Delegate Charles Sidnor, Delegate Pat Young. And I'd also like to thank Brian Frage, Vice President of the UMBC Alumni Board. So with that, thank you for your time and attention. I'm going to bring Freeman Gabowski up.
Thank you. Could you all give Bill a chorus and all the folks at UMBC who've done what they've done? We're very appreciative. It's a great crowd, isn't it? And we ordered the weather for you. We really did. I am delighted to welcome you here today and to thank our governor and President Miller and Speaker Jones and all the other elected officials who are here. And take a moment to remember Speaker Bush. Just a moment of silence for Speaker Bush, who was always supportive of this campus. Moment of silence. Thank you very much. We take great pride in the fact that there are a number of alumni. Mr. Governor, Mr. President of the Senate, we are very proud that we have a number of our alumni here who are elected officials. So Speaker Jones and County Executive Johnny O. Olszewski, the Secretary of Labor, as you know, Governor, Tiffany Robinson, everybody, including the delegates who are here, Delegate Chang and Delegate Sidnor and others. But this is one I want to mention because of this building. The nation's physician, the nation's doctor is this U.S. Surgeon General. He's been on campus twice in the last week. Jerome Adams from a little country town, wonderful town in Maryland, Mechanicsville. You all give the Surgeon General, Jerome Adams, a round of applause. We're very proud of that. Very proud of that. And then I want to just take a moment and let everybody know that Whiting Turner and Tim Regan is here somewhere. They give us a lot of private money. Give them a lot, right, to leverage that state money. That is very, very important. It really is. And the architect and Bill Gustafson and others. And then finally, I'd like everyone to hear me thank two of our partners, and they're here. And that's Jay Perman and Bruce Jarrell. They work with us a lot, wherever they are. Jay, give them a round of applause for working with us. And I'm told Dr. Pam is here somewhere with our first joint appointment together. With that said, let me take a moment and thank our elected officials for being so supportive of this campus. I have the chance to go around the country talking about our legislature, our governor, and the fact that we work together, all of us, in the name of higher education. And so I'm delighted to introduce the governor, who says this is his second event already today, in fact. And the fact is that I want to give him credit, supported by the legislature, for a lot of support for higher education with this dream. The vision is that we prepare the citizens of this state for the workforce so everybody has a better life. This building will lead to so many people in science, in engineering, and in medicine saving lives. And it's that vision that I want all of you to think about. But it would not be happening without the amazing support of our governor and our legislature. Please join me in welcoming the governor of the state of Maryland.
You never want to follow Freeman Hrabowski. That's a terrible thing to do to a speaker. But thank you very much. I appreciate the kind words. It's wonderful to be here with all of you here at UMBC. What a beautiful day. I know the sun always shines on this campus, but it's beautiful here today, and I want to congratulate you, President Hrabowski, and every single person that has had anything to do with this exciting achievement for UMBC, for Baltimore County, and for the state of Maryland. Over its more than 50-year history, this renowned and celebrated university has been recognized as one of the world's leading universities. UMBC was recently rated number 3 in America and number 62 worldwide in global science and economic impact. This university is a top 10 national leader in undergraduate teaching and innovation, and is consistently ranked as one of America's top 150 universities in federal research and development expenditures. UMBC is also the nation's #1 producer of African American undergraduates who go on to complete an MD or a PhD. That's worth some applause right there. Today, I'm so excited to be here for this next important chapter for UMBC as we open this new state-of-the-art interdisciplinary life sciences building. For 5 years, the top priority of our administration has been education, and we have invested an historic $6.7 billion into the university system of Maryland, and we are proud to have worked together with our partners in the legislature to deliver more than $120 million to support this very important project that we're celebrating here today. With 70,000 square feet of research and teaching space, this new exciting facility includes innovative features like a good manufacturing processes lab training facility, and an environmental systems lab, which will serve as a flexible high bay research space to support field research in aquatic and environmental ecosystems. The building will add further momentum to UMBC's impressive global reputation, and it has already helped to attract major national grants, which will increase the diversity of our state's thriving life sciences industry, including a $2.8 million grant from the National Science Foundation to help start a new master's program in environmental sciences. Maryland is proud to be home to the most highly educated workforce in America. We're 3rd in the nation for research and development intensity, 2nd among all 50 states for concentration of STEM employment, and #1 in the percentage of degrees awarded in computer science, mathematics, and statistics. Freeman says, ooh. I like that. We have the highest concentration of PhD scientists and engineers in America, and Maryland is consistently ranked as one of the most innovative states in the nation. We have a vibrant life sciences industry, 2,700 companies that employ 45,000 people and generate $18.6 billion in economic annual activity. We're home to the premier government facilities, including the NIH, the FDA, and industry leaders like MedImmune, Leidos, and GlaxoSmithKline, making our state home to one of the top biohealth clusters in America. And now, with the addition of this incredible world-class facility, the state of Maryland will continue to lead the way. And UMBC will continue to push boundaries, achieve significant breakthroughs, and will continue to shine as a national and global leader in innovation. Once again, congratulations to everyone who's worked so hard and been involved in this important project. I just want to say thank you and congratulations. And I'd like to invite Freeman Hrabowski back up here so I can present him with an official governor's citation honoring today's occasion. dated today, signed by me, the Lieutenant Governor, and the Secretary of State.
Let me just say to the governor, to President Miller, and to Speaker Jones, we received more money from this state, from these elected officials this year proportionally than I've seen in my 40 years in Maryland. Give them all a big round of applause.
Thank you, Governor Holmgren. Next, I'd like to invite Maryland Senate President Thomas Mike Miller, a longtime advocate for UMBC in the legislature, to the podium.
Thank you very much. I'll be very brief. When I got here this morning, the governor came up to me and said, you know, I had a speech, but I left it at the last event. Can you help me out? I said, well, here, Governor, here's my speech. And so rather than give those same statistics over and over and over again, let me just say that I'm pleased to be here. Time magazine says you got the best president of a college, of any college in the United States, right here. Little fellow. U.S. News and World Report. This is one of the top 10 college campuses of public university in the whole United States of America, right here. UMB, Baldwin County. First time I came to a graduation here was 1985. My youngest sister graduated from here. They were looking for a special place. She was 15 years of age. And this was her home away from home. It's been a home away from home for thousands of people since then. Congratulations, Freeman. Congratulations to all who made this campus possible. Congratulations.
Thank you, President Miller. Our next speaker is also no stranger to UMBC. She graduated from UMBC and just recently became the first woman and the first African-American to serve in Maryland Speaker of the House. It's a pleasure to have you back on campus. As always, welcome Adrienne Jones.
Who would have thought this little girl from Calvinsville will be standing here today dedicating, sending a ribbon cutting of this building. Oh yeah, and also being the Speaker of the House. This is a great project. As those of you may know, I am no longer the chair of the capital budget, but during that time, this was one of the projects that was near and dear to my heart. And so, Freeman, I'm going to ask you the question I asked at all of my ribbon cuttings for capital projects. Was this project on time?
Oh, yes. Round of applause. On time.
Was this project under budget?
Oh, yes.
Very good. Well, I can check off. That is a good answer. That is a very good answer. This is a great institution, and I had an opportunity to come a little earlier and tour the facility, this building. It is a fantastic building. If you haven't been through there, I encourage you to do so. I don't know what any of our colleagues have as well. This is just a wonderful, wonderful day, and I encourage people to adapt the science, because that's our future. And UMBC is really setting the peg high in terms of that particular area, and I commend you for what you continue to do, and I'm proud to be alumni. All alumni, we got our pens on? Very nice. So, and also history has been made in another arena. This is the first time that both the governor and both presiding officer have been together at one time. That's true. That is true. And I can't think of a better occasion than here at UMBC. So, Freeman, I have a citation from the Maryland General Assembly, and all our colleagues that are here. It's from you as well. It's hereby known to all that sincerest congratulations are offered to the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, in recognition of global research, innovation, trends, excellence, Grit X. A series of presentations which celebrate the passion and achievements of UMBC's alumni, faculty, and graduate students, with invited speakers conveying compelling aspects of UMBC's scholarships and creative achievements. And it's from all of us from the House of Delegates that are particularly present today.
She's very good at telling you what to do. You know that.
We do know.
Thank you, Speaker Jones. Next, I'd like to welcome another UMBC alumnus and Baltimore County Executive, Johnny O. Olszewski, to share a few thoughts.
Well, it sounds like a pretty good trend if you're picking up on another alum and another. Good afternoon. It is wonderful to be back with you here at this incredible campus. Dr. Hrabowski, thank you and your team for your incredible leadership. I want to thank all of our state officials, those in attendance, those not here, and especially the Hogan administration, Speaker of the House, Adrian Jones, Senate President Mike Miller, for your commitment to this incredible institution. I'm sure everyone here knows that this is money well spent and that UMBC is a special place. I couldn't be more proud than to have a degree from this incredible institution, and I'm proud of the impact that you're having in Southwest Baltimore County and the entire state. I recently had the opportunity to visit BW Tech here and was impressed by the 130 companies, many of which are, in fact, life sciences based. In 2018, Baltimore County benefited from the receipt of more than $5 million of income in real property taxes as a result of the work being done at BW Tech and here at UMBC. And we know the benefits to the state are even greater, with over $12 million in 2018. Across our state, BW Tech alone is responsible for creating 3,000 new jobs. Equally impressive is the way in which those companies are owned and operated by women and other underrepresented minorities. That kind of work exemplifies UMBC, collaborative, diverse, innovative. It's why the national rankings have picked up on what's being done right here. The new work building will support more of that work through both the research that's conducted as well as the diversity of researchers, from high school students to professors who will have the opportunity to do work in this building. Some companies in BW Tech are run by fellow alums like Ji-Hae Yoon and Jim Kukla, who founded the artificial intelligence firm Redshed and received a rare Phase 2 Small Business Innovation Research Award from the National Science Foundation. They are not alone among UMBC alum. 77% of them choose to stay in Maryland, and many of them are contributing to our state's economy and well-being, making impressive impacts like Redshed. UMBC researchers are also contributing to the economy through startups at BW Tech and elsewhere. Like Chuck Breich and to folks like Lorraine Reamer, founder of Air Photon, producing custom experimental equipment for atmospheric and climate scientists. The company was born out of her own need for such equipment in the research. It's pretty incredible stuff. These connections between research and economic development are critical, and UMBC contributes to both. And this building will enable that kind of interdisciplinary collaboration. It's a strong reminder of why the investments our state is making are so warranted and so appreciated. Congratulations to everyone at the UMBC team for always striving to do more to improve the lives of your students, your alums, and your key partners. I'm so excited for what you've done, and I'm more excited for what's ahead. Thank you. And since we're joining in the fun, I too want to invite Dr. Rabowski up. And we have an executive citation on behalf of the residents of Baltimore County to thank him and congratulate him as well. We're going to slide it a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you, Executive Olszewski, for your support and advocacy. Just inside these doors is a vibrant art installation created especially for UMBC with input from a wide swath of community members. It was built with support from legislature and the Maryland State Arts Council, and I would like to invite Ken Schkus, Executive Director, to tell us a little bit more about this work.
Good afternoon, Governor Hogan, President Miller, Speaker Jones, County Executive Olszewski, President Hrabowski, Dean LaCourse, and other distinguished guests. Under the leadership of Governor Hogan's administration and the current legislature, Maryland ranks third per capita in art spending in the nation. In fact, arts and cultural production accounts for $11.1 billion, or just under 3% of Maryland's economy, contributing over 79,000 jobs. One of the many programs of the Maryland State Arts Council is the Maryland Public Art Initiative, integrating public art into new or renovated state buildings. UMBC was the site of our first public art project titled Forum, outside the Performing Arts and Humanities Building, dedicated in 2014. Here in 2019, we're proud to have led the public art process, incorporating a new artwork for the Interdisciplinary Life Sciences Building. This piece of public art would not have been possible without the leadership of the Maryland Public Art Commission and its commissioners, Chair Catherine Leggett, Artist Selection Panelist Elaine Bachman, UMBC Associate Professor Dr. Kathy Odell, and Moline Jackson, as well as Maryland State Arts Counselors Timothy App and Sumita Kim. Because we have the best state arts agency staff in the country, Maryland is fortunate to have a national leader as our public art program director. I would like to acknowledge Liesl Fenner for her exemplary leadership and her assistant Rosa Chang. For their diligent work in this and all other public art projects in our state. The artist was selected through a nationwide call to artists by an artist selection committee made up of UMBC leadership staff, faculty, students, and partners that reviewed over 200 applications and selected artist Volkan Alkanoglu. This same nationwide call is the process that is used to ensure opportunities for Maryland artists in other states. As part of the creative process, Volkan and the project team engaged with faculty, staff, and students of many departments, labs, and collaborative centers, such as the Department of Biological Sciences and Chemical, Biochemical, and Environmental Engineering. Research images, diagrams, and visualizations served as inspiration, including a model for therapy in cancer patients, taxonomical graphs of air pollution, microscopic projections of research, and dancers performing choreography in dramatic, colorful lighting. The resulting work illustrates how all of UMBC's work is constantly evolving, shifting, and moving, as if on a journey or moving through time. It embodies the elevation of ideas as they move through the creative process toward the presentation of something that has never before existed. It is a statement of innovation. The title of the work is In Flight. Congratulations, Volkan, and to all the collaborators who helped make this artwork possible. I invite you to experience In Flight for yourself, viewing it from different angles and locations. It is truly spectacular. The Maryland State Arts Council remains dedicated to equitable access to the arts for all Marylanders, and our public art program allows for engagement that enhances the lives of Maryland's residents and visitors. Thank you for your commitment to public art, and congratulations.
Yes, it's definitely the beauty of the art is that it's for everyone to see as they pass through. Just one comment is that I forgot to have Senator Clarice Lamb recognized for being here today, so thank you very much. And before we cut this wonderful ribbon, I'd like to welcome UMC President Freeman Grabowski back to the podium.
Great. So we know we are preparing a workforce to the elected officials. We also are attracting great talent. And somebody reminded me, I mentioned his name, Dr. Deepan Pan, just moved here from my alma mater, from University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, because of UMB, UMBC working together. He works across a variety of medical and engineering disciplines in nanomedicine, specializing in this idea of interdisciplinarity and innovative science. And he is somebody who will be in this building. Give him a round of applause for coming to Illinois. Coming here. We can attract the best here. So when you have a great goal, it's important to build this large and diverse community. This building is really teaching us the power of convergence. I want you to think about that across these disciplines, bringing people from all over the world, but preparing a workforce. With that said, delighted to have my colleagues join me now in the actual cutting of the ribbon. 1, 2, 3. UMBC! All right.